Welcome to Dell's Depot. This is my second video I put out on YouTube, and I'd like to talk about storage. Storing your trains, storing your tools, spare parts, that kind of thing. And I thought I'd start down here in my garage just to show you this this cabinet, because I've got two others of the very similar, and it's an old small filing cabinet from an office. As you can see, with the small narrow drawers, very good for getting yourself organised, because it's nice and portable, as opposed to the big old bulky filing cabinets. This one can just fit on the side, as you've seen I've done with this one. I got this from eBay. It was £20. You can pay a lot more, but it's best to shop around, because you can get a bargain if you have a look around and take your time. And the thing I like about these, the beauty of these, is they're very easy to spray up, customise them, make them the way you want, the colours you want. Being a metal body and drawers, they take spray paint really well, and that's my approach. I use the cheap car touch-up spray paints that I actually get in the range. You can get other spray paints in Wilkinsons or Poundland, that kind of thing. And as you can see from this one, I've sprayed this one matte black for the body and black and white for the drawers, just alternating the colours just to give it a little bit of character. You've got the drawer pulls there, which can take labels, so you can keep yourself organised, so you know exactly where things are. And yeah, these work out really well, I think. They're normally probably brown, a drab old brown with cream coloured drawers. So you just give them a little rub down with a Scotch-Brite or light sandpaper, that kind of thing, just to give the paintwork a key. And the drawer pulls come off. You can unscrew them and just mask them up and give them a couple of coats of spray paint. Put the drawer pulls back on, and job done. It works out real well. I'm going to show you the other two cabinets that I've got that are up by my railway, and show you what I've done with those. Okay, so this is the first cabinet that I got on eBay. It was £20, and it was a little bit rusty, so I had to rub it down. And basically, as I said before, I used the old car touch-up spray paint. So I've done black for the body of the cabinet. This is a 15 drawer cabinet, as opposed to the 10 drawer that I showed you that was in the garage. So yeah, black for the body, and I've used as close approximation of the colours that they had. So you could say British Rail green and British Rail blue. You'll probably say, oh, the green's a little bit light, but that's the closest I could get just buying these cheap spray paints. But I did the alternation with the drawers, so green blue all the way down, and I think it's quite a nice effect. So you know, if you're into your model railways, you like your livery colours, then this is one of the options you can do. If I show you up close, hopefully this can zoom in a bit. So this is where I've got my freight wagons. So there's me Weetabix, bird's eye fish fingers. So it's really good to store the smaller wagons in. So there's 12 there in total there, and the drawers are nice and smooth. You got, say, others there, and say there's 15 drawers in total there. So I've got all the different ones. So if you think 15 drawers, if you can say with the smaller ones you can store 12 in each, 15 by 12. So there's quite a big bit of storage you can do there. Again, a 15 drawer cabinet, and as you can see, I've done maroon for the body of the cabinet, and I've gone for blood and custard, basically, which makes it a nice bright cabinet, and I think the colours work quite well. This one I use just for spare parts, tools, any of the scenery kits and that kind of thing. I just store them in there before I make them up. So it's just a good way of keeping yourself reasonably organised. And again, This one was £25 to buy, and again, just rub it down lightly with a bit of Scotch-Brite and use the cheap spray paints. And I think, as I said, I think those colours work quite well. Brighten up your room and keep the old the liveries theme going on. Now this cabinet is just the basic display cabinet, bookcase cabinet that you can get in Argos. Normally has, I think it's two shelves that come with it. So all I did was buy some other shelving to make more shelves to go in there. I haven't finished working on that one. That's still a work in progress, that one. But right next to it is this one, which I've finished, which has 9 shelves, which actually are on drawer runners. So I've got my coaching stock on here, and if I pull these out for you, so they come out just over halfway, so you can get to your coaches, pull them out easy, and put them back in. What I've done is I've actually routed grooves into the shelves that the wheels can just run in, and there's a stop at the front, stop at the back, so that when you actually pull the drawer out, the coaches don't fall out on you. They just stop where the groove stops, basically. So that's they work quite nicely that way, and the drawer runners are quite cheap. I got mine, I think that was in Screwfix, and I think they work out at I think it's £1.99 for a pair, so it's pretty cheap. So yeah, there's 9 drawers there. You've got 6 on each, so you do the math. It's pretty good for storing your coaching stock. With those cabinets that I've adapted is these were flat pack ones that you can get in Lidl's. This is the wall hang one, small display cabinet with the glass shelves. These are, I think, the wall hang one, the small one, this one, I think is £39. And then below it we've got the floor standing one, which could also be hung up, it's up to you. That's a much larger one with the 2 glass doors, and that is £59. But I actually got these when they were on offer in Lidl, so I got some money off. But the beauty of these, I say, with the white one, it really shows off your the engines really well, or whatever you're displaying in there with the white background. With these, you do get quite a few shelves. So with the spacing, you do end up with a few glass shelves left over. So what I done for that was I actually made more small wall shelves, wall cabinets, as you can see here. And I painted them white so that the trains stand out, easier to see. Is that one there, and then right next door to it, another small one there. And the size of those is basically governed by the width of the glass shelves. So if you can do a little bit of woodworking, they're pretty easy to make. And again, it gives you a little bit extra storage. So for the sake of a few quid, you can make extra cabinets. I mean, most of the panels, the wood, chipboard or whatever that I got for these was one of them was from a neighbour who was getting rid of a sideboard cabinet, so I basically took it apart for him and took the parts that I wanted, because I've got a table saw in the garage in my workshop, so I knew I was able to cut them down to whatever widths and lengths I wanted them to be. So quite cheap cabinets, but quite effective. And this isn't a storage cabinet or anything, this is basically my workstation, which is an old dresser table, as you'll probably those of you who are of advancing years, as I am as well, you probably recognise this with the old styles of furniture. An old dresser table, and I bought this from the British Heart Foundation charity shop where they do furniture and electricals and whatever. And this one was actually reduced. It was £20, which I think is pretty reasonable. So I've got the 2 drawer units either side with the top going across, so it's at a nice height to sit at, to do whatever I want to do, any maintenance or whatever, any oiling or taking things apart, and it sits up here quite nicely. Again, say £20 British Art Foundation, another good option, as well as eBay, as I said before. Hey, so I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Hopefully maybe I've given you some inspiration on storing your trains and your coaches and wagons, and I'll be doing more videos in the future, and hopefully I can inspire you just the way that the rest of you guys out there on YouTube have inspired me. So thanks very much.